Ooh, I'm not sore after my workouts. Does this mean I haven't trained hard enough? Let's get into that today, shall we? If you're new around here, my name's Marcus. I'm an online transformation coach who helps you get in the absolute shape of your life without obsessing over absolutely every single detail and without living in the gym. So, if that sounds like you, watch this video. So, a brand new client asked me this the other day, and I thought it was worth a video because I feel like everyone's felt like this at some point. And back in the day when I used to coach group bootcamp classes, I reckon the majority of people there, if they didn't feel sore the next day, felt like the session had been pretty pointless. However, that's bullshit. And I'm going to explain why. But before I get into that, I completely understand that thought process because, you know, it comes from that no pain, no gain that people still flutter about. And again, I sort of understand it because you want to be pushing yourself to an intensity, you want to be pushing yourself in the gym, and you kind of do want to feel sore the next day because you go, oh, that's worked, hasn't it? Oh, I can feel that. Oh, the best one. Oh, I can't even sit on the toilet. Oh, we've all had that. It's not great when you've actually got the shits and you need to sit on the toilet, but that's a whole different story for another day. However, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about should you actually feel sore after your workouts. And the age-old answer that I'm going to tell you is it depends, which is bollocks, but let me explain. So to actually explain it, I feel like I need to tell you what that soreness actually means. Obviously, it's got a word. It's called DOMS, which is delayed onset of muscular soreness. Now, when we're looking at this, usually it's down to two things. A novel exercise. So you've tried an exercise that you haven't tried before, you haven't tried in a long time, which is why when you swap a program, like sometimes I'll do the same program for 24, 30 weeks or something like that. And then when I swap my programs and I'll go back to exercises that I haven't done in ages, then I feel that DOMS for the first couple of times that I try those sessions because my body isn't used to it and it's going, ooh, you're trying something new here. And it becomes a little bit sore. Or you've massively increased volume or intensity in that session compared to your previous sessions. So again, your body's feeling a novel stimulus and it's going, ooh, okay, what's going on here? It's not an indicator of you making progress. It's just an indicator of something new happening most of the time. And do you know what the underlying thing about everything here is? You can have an absolutely amazing session and not feel too sore the next day. I've been there myself when you've hit PBs every single exercise, you've kept the tempo the same, so you know you're controlling the movement, you've filmed yourself so you know that your form's on point. You wake up the next day and you go, all right, I can feel it a little bit, but I'm not in absolute agony. And that doesn't mean that you've not progressed because when you look at absolutely everything, your weight's gone up, you might have done more reps, yet you're not sore. So what's going wrong here? And you see what I mentioned before about sticking to the same program over time means that I'm progressively overloading, I'm increasing the weight, I'm increasing the volume over time, yet nothing's happening massively and I'm not feeling huge soreness, yet I'm progressing, my muscles are growing, I'm becoming more defined, I'm feeling better in the way I look. Yet the reason people aren't making progress is because they're chasing this stimulus of, oh, I need to feel sore. And what happens when they do that? They change their exercise every couple of weeks because they start to get used to that exercise and they can't feel it the next day anymore. So they go, all right, I'll change it up and then, oh, I feel that again. Then they'll do that for a couple of weeks and then change it. And chasing this stimulus all of the time means that they aren't making progress because they're not actually progressively overloading on a week-to-week basis. They're not increasing the weight that they're using. They're not putting their body through a different stimulus or putting more tension under their body because that's exactly what we need to grow. And when we say grow, I don't mean you're going to look like Arnold at the Olympia, but we want more definition. We want a more toned physique. And that's exactly why we want to stick to things for over a period of time because that's what's going to get you that physique that you want. So you might be sat there now thinking, well, if I'm not looking at how sore I am the next day, Marcus, what should I actually be tracking if I want to make progress? And to be quite honest with you, I've already told you all of that in this video. So if you've been watching carefully and if you've been listening, then you'll already know. But what do we want to track then? Okay, are we lifting the same weights or are we progressing the weights on a week-to-week basis? And again, not every single session that weight's going to go up. Even when you're in a calorie surplus and you're gaining weight, you're not going to increase the weight massively every single session. Sometimes it'll be by 1 kilo, sometimes it'll be half a kilo, but that progressive overload over a period of time is exactly what's going to get the results. This monster's not agreeing with me this morning. But also, look at your volume. Are you increasing your reps? Because sometimes you're not going to go up weight. But you could go from 8 reps to 9 reps. From 9 reps, you might jump, oh, I've gone to 11 reps. Okay, let's bring that weight up. Let's start at 8 again and push up again. And it's all about that. It's about progressively overloading over time, not jumping from the next thing to the next thing and trying to chase that, soreness the next day, which you should have understood by now. So if you take absolutely anything from this video, it's that the best sessions aren't always the ones that leave you broken. It's the ones that keep you moving forwards week on week and get you the results that you want. If you want even better results and you want to know more about my one-to-one online coaching, then there's going to be a link down below that you can press, fill in your name, your number, your email, and I'll get in touch. We'll have a little bit of a chat and we'll see exactly how I can help you.